Well, it is the biggest challenge, I think the playoff pundits will tell you the toughest one to win is that final one. Teams that are playing right now have a very high belief system, regardless of where they are in the series, and it's a hostile place to play, obviously, in that arena. We have had some success, but the important thing for us is to be ready to play. I think or at least I believe we've learned our lesson following Game 4, and we know they're going to have a push. So, as I said last night, we're going to have to take our game to another level.
Well, Todd, why is momentum been so difficult for either side from game to game this year?
I'm a big believer that it starts all over again. Sometimes you carry some of those feelings from one game to the other, but I think with today's player and the way all the staffs approach the game, you park one, you move on to the next, and you've got to get going. And playoffs happen so fast. If you get on a losing streak, you're done anyhow. So you can't let that happen. You got to park the emotion, show up again, and get ready to play. So I think you have to reestablish momentum when the puck is dropped in a new, fresh game each and every time.
When you were down 2 in that game after having given up a lead, and some of the resilience you've tried to build into this group maybe comes through in that moment. What did you see from your players, and how did you think help craft that?
Well, there was a calmness on our bench. We felt that we needed to adjust a few things to our play, and we were actually doing it. So we tried to fix some things. We believe we did. Yet we were still down, and there was no need to wander from the game plan. There was no need to turn into individuals and try and do it on your own. It takes groups of 5, and we stuck with it, and that doesn't happen overnight. That evolves over time, and we're slowly growing as a team in that mental capacity as well, to stick with things and to have a little resiliency. To understand you're given 60 minutes, and a lot of nights you have to use all 60.
When you first were trying to get that message across when you got here, probably having to articulate it a lot in game, is it built into the group now? Were you finding you need to remind guys about that, or do they take it and run with it?
They pretty much take it and run with it. I think when that happens, it tends to be more powerful. When the players can take over the team and the players can take over situations and provide that leadership and that calmness, you're slowly getting it. And with the resiliency part and the ability to stick with it, I think that's coming from them now. They understand that they can and will if they do things the right way, and credit to them.
Did you see a different look from your club yesterday? I mean, facing the adversity that they were and to come through and win the way they did?
No, I don't think we were out of our skin at all. In fact, in the 7-0 game in San Jose, we were out of our skin. We didn't play individually the way we needed to. Individual players were playing outside of their character traits, if you will. And last night we all played within our skin, and I think that was real important. That was a message that was sent the day before, and players responded.
Quite a few overtime games in the playoffs. What kind of a toll does that take on a team?
Well, you don't worry about the toll when you're in the middle of a series. You get through it, and as you move on, then you look for rest. We're not at that situation right now. You empty the tank nightly, and you find ways to recharge it. Obviously, we altered our day today because of the late game and the extra time on the ice. We didn't skate, but we find ways to get rest and move on to the next one.
Peter traded for David Desharnais. Not necessarily his body of work this year. He hadn't been playing a ton, but because he had playoff experience and had been in these moments. Was that last night kind of a perfect example of a player that knows how to function in this moment and where the value is?
I think that's fair to say. He's played in a Canadian market his whole career, a very tough market where they've experienced some playoff highs and lows. And, he's one guy that seems to have a control over his emotions and plays, within himself on a nightly basis. And last night was his night. that's a great thing. We hope it happens again. And if it doesn't happen for him, then somebody else has to have their night. You find individual heroes on a nightly basis, and last night he was ours.
Todd, you talk about leadership. I want to ask you about, was that a turning point for you guys? Connor's big hit in the second?
I think it helped us. You know, when your captain, who's been scrutinized for lack of scoring, can turn the game in a different way, it's really important. Yet I thought that line was tremendous last night. They led the way. They didn't have to score a bunch of goals. Their tenacity allowed us to keep the fans in the game when it wasn't looking real good, and they continued to play that way to the end of the night. So, you know, Connor's hit was important. It's one that he's willing to do on a nightly basis, but the whole group effort was what got it done.